Hey Mark, hope all is well. Looks like you had a great week this week. Sorry that your power was zeroing out, but I've been able to kind of read over that and not worry too much about it. But it's good that you're getting a new power meter. That's a good thing, especially when like you said you have to work harder to get the power to go back up because it's dealing with all these zeros and and so anyway your power was probably pretty high. But like I said in the text. I'm pretty happy, totally pumped actually about that FTP. And yeah, I was kind of wondering out loud why your power looked so good on the Sunday ride. I didn't see any zeroing out, but that explains it because you were on your road bike. So crazy. These power meters, you'd think they'd be cheaper by now too. So every time I see a new advertisement for a new power meter, I'm thinking, oh, great, this is going to be around the $300 range. Somebody's going to finally break that, and they're still 1,500 bucks a piece. So what a drag. But anyway, um, let's take a look at your stuff. Everything's good. You are at -6 TSB, which is just about right. -4 would be perfect, but -6 is okay. If we look here, basically where we're at for the season, this was the week of the 23rd. Your goal was 310 training stress points, and I believe for um, for the week you were like 320 something or other, oh, 330. Okay, so yeah, everything's good there. You can see that nice gradual build. You see everything looking good here. Your max um, TSB here, if I actually, I might be able to look at it a little bit better here. The end of Sunday looks like you were -9. So yeah, I mean that's what that heavy weekend work is supposed to be doing to you. Not knocking you down to -20 or anything, but um, it's supposed to be taking a hit on the power there, so or the training stress. So everything's looking good there. Like I say, if we back it out and track it by 30 days, you can see that good cycle that we're in. You know, the work, recovery, work, recover, work, recover, all of that. Everything's good there. Um, I think I did notice that your MFTP, remember we know that the number's not exactly correct, but it's tracking, at least it's relative each week. So you can see you were, during the off season you were like 175, but now, oh, I'm sorry, your MFTP was 250, and it's heading up now, 267 this week. So it took another, yeah, went up a watt or whatever. So that's good. Always good to be moving in the right direction. And you can see here that on the 28th, that's that 80 ladder set on the road bike. And then there you were on the road bike, the TT bike and the road bike there. So 68, 80 there. Let me just break that down, make it a little easier to see. 68. So yeah, I mean you're really getting it in, and it's gonna really help. I mean, if you look there, that's an hour and 7 minutes, 66 minutes, and then a 60 training stress score. So like I said, I know those hard workouts are the ones that you're almost getting basically one training stress point per minute. So very good there. Awesome. We're moving ahead. Um, you can see but your training stress per day looking good there. This is your recovery. So you've got a day off today. Start back again on the FTPs tomorrow. I was going to note too for you um, that next week. So this is your. We've, this will be 2 weeks in a row of FTP, and next week we're going to start recovery week. And I probably am going to go ahead and keep an FTP in here, but then I'm going to make the rest of these rides just endurance, like 60 minutes, whatever. Our goal really is 150 training stress points, so literally more than half down. And dude, this is really going to help you. You're gonna be blown away with what this does for you. And then I'm calling this like phase 2 of the season or whatever. This here is going to do, because we're still getting the heart rate in the 130s, that kind of stuff. It's all going to be good, and then you're going to be just really ready to crank. And I think if I get over here, Let's see, training stress planner. Um, I might wait on FTP2s for a while. I think maybe, actually let me just do that right now. Let me put it, I want to put it down here. We've got plenty of time to, to the difference between FTP1 and FTP2 aren't going to be that much. And the other thing too is these harder 20-minute FTP workouts are going to begin, and maybe what I'm going to do is move that up a few days or a couple weeks. So you'll have, looks like 6 weeks in between your beginning of your FTPs to the FTP2s, and I think that's going to be good for your knee too. That cutting down the amount of recovery time is tricky, and it becomes a survival fest. But all good, man, all good. So you can see we'll be peaking out in the 450s for the weekly training stress score, and most of that, I think I'm going to back these down a little bit. I don't want you in the 600s, but I want you right around the 450s. And what I think what we'll do is we're going to use longer weekend rides, a lot of endurance, and some tempo to add that in for you. So it's cool. I mean, even though it's just now getting to be February here, we're well on our way. We're well on our way to the season, and sounds like your knee is being taken care of the way it should, and all that. So that's awesome. Let me go back here. So you can see the intensity that you had each day was pretty good, and weekly time and distance. If we look back last 30, poor Mark, the weather, it's just tough. It's going to be fun to see you get back outside a little bit. We've actually had a little bit of a retrieve here in Denver, but it's been funny. I've had like 3 days of flats, and so I've like gone through $30 worth of tubes trying to just to get my rides in. It's kind of been as frustrating. I think probably not quite as frustrating as a power meter, but some reason I was just one of those streaks where things are just not going right. So anyway, let's take a look. Monday, here's your easy spin. All of this looks good. That's total hour there is great. So your block here is good. It doesn't look like you hit a maximum heart rate of 131. These are good, and I think something similar to this, what you can do on Friday, like you were talking about Friday morning, totally fine, and that'll work in well for your weekend and everything else too. So here's your FTPs. So I marked all your laps here, and I can see where that's zeroing out. And probably half of your heart rate is just in frustration. But still, look, I mean, you can see 304, 296, 308. This is the one I'm happiest about, because I like to have you know how we talk about, like, in that third quarter of time trial is generally where your power drops. Just training you to be your third or fourth set. In this case, these sets here, lap 6 and lap 8, be your laps that everything really, that you're really holding the power. And I think, like, if I were to take this area here, just grab that, because I think that's what you were holding the whole time. Let's take a look at that selection, and yeah, 319 for that. So I think you were holding that power, 319, maybe 310, the whole set. So that even made you, poor Mark, that even made your workout harder. So all good to see here, and heart rate holding good. No spikes at the beginning of each set, which is awesome. Everything good, man, dude. These are killer. And look at where you're coming down to. You're coming down to 109 there. You're coming down to 106 heart rate here. And even after all of that, 113 you're recovering to with your high cadence too. So you're really spinning your legs out. That's good for your knee too. So good there. This is your Thursday ride, more spin kind of stuff. And I think, what was your peak here? 131. So these are good back fails. Awesome. And this is that this is that one that makes it kind of interesting, where you do those bursts and then you got to go back to tempo, burst, tempo, burst, tempo. Those are good for you, and you can see heart rate holding good, power holding the same. Like if I were to draw a line right over your baseline of power, where my mouse is tracking right there, you would see everything would be looking good. So. And here's your ladder sets. And did you get outside for that one? No, I don't think you did. Um, this was on your road bike, all good. And like you say, there's, your 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 power's not zeroing out there, which is good. Notice here your power's moving up here. Heart rate hits this peak area here and still holds. And actually, as your power comes up in this area, your heart rate is coming down. It's kind of like your body is like, okay, I'm in this for the long run. Let's do it. So we don't need to see your temperature here, but and this was your road bike block here. This is a good set, and I just kind of, I don't know, I highlighted this, but that's that 15-minute set there. Love it. And that was the one that you talked about, the 306. Really, really good there. Was that one? That one. None of them were outdoors. That's right. Um, and I'm not sure why the variability index is 0.95. I don't know why it's that. Oh, maybe it's that little spike there at the end that you just dropped in that made the variability index. Because I think if I were to highlight this, most of your ride here, your variability index, it's still showing 0.91. I don't know why that is, because your power's not fluctuating much, and your cadence is staying the same in heart rate. So um, uh, that might be actually an error in the software, because that should be a 1.0. If your average power is 305 and your normalized power is 292, well, I guess that makes sense. Normalized power, yeah, but I couldn't ask for anything better. This is riding that we just you just don't see from riders unless somebody's training him to, or they're like a pro or something like that. This is just surgical sort of precision here. And then yesterday, more of the same, the spinning, and there's your weights there, and you are getting the extra time in on the bike here, so that's all good. And yeah, everything looks great. And so for the week, I think, let me get over here. Let's see. Let's get you over here. So we'll do the FTP, and then we're going to do the Tempo C2. That's just a tempo ride. I'll make sure you get that workout. You've done that one before, and I'll just let me know, and I'll try to make time and make sure that you're reacting well to it. This is the second week of FTPs, so I just thought it'd be good to do a stress check on Thursday, kind of like we got into the habit of last week. Nice easy spin Friday morning. That's going to be AM, so like max 130 for heart rate, nothing crazy, like I said. And then some 20-minute blocks at 220, 240 watts. Those are just good for getting in tempo, or those kind of things. And then we're going to try to do a 15-minute set here. Start your first 5-minute block at 290 watts, and then add 5 watts per block. So 5 minutes at 290, 5 minutes at 295, and 5 minutes at 300. And of course, the last 5 minutes is it builds as it goes. And then we'll just spin you out the next day, some weights, and then what I'm going to call here recovery week start. And like I said, I probably will make that an FTP workout. We'll just keep the intensity here, but this will all be spinning and endurance. So really, the only thing you're going to be doing here is just the FTP, and I'll back you down. I won't have you do that hard block on Sunday, and it'll be good. So yeah, good job, man. Loving to see this. I'm kind of excited to see how your new power meter is going to work. And anyway, I think that's got it. We will talk to you later. Love you, buddy. Thanks.